welcome to the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You be a concerned Tom's River resident. Why I do the show? Because you're concerned. And of course, if you need to get in touch with me, you got our website, HMGTV Shows, which we're renewing this week with GoDaddy as soon as I get a little information. They keep sending me these warnings about to expire. And they have all these different pricing structures. GoDaddy, I said, could you email me this so I can review it? And the guy's telling me, well, if you don't operate it, jump on it now, the prices change. So I've been with GoDaddy for like 10 years. So we'll renew it one way or the other. You got us on Twitter. You're seeing that all on the bottom of the screen. You got us on live stream. We archive our shows on live stream. You should download the app. It's a good app. There's a lot of programming on there besides what we do here with Hudson Media and Ready to Roll Studios. You know, New Jersey Lottery's on there. There are concerts on it. It's got a lot going on. Live stream was bought by Vimeo. A lot going on there. I just seen Captain Marvel. I'm a superhero junkie. I like all the movies. Listen, Justice League to me was fine. Batman versus Superman was fine. Wonder Woman was fine. Aquaman was fine. I'm more of a Marvel guy. I always was, Captain America and Iron Man. I don't think I ever read Captain Marvel before, and when I was a kid, reading comic books. It was okay. It's a good way to, spend a couple hours with a huge bucket of popcorn and another huge soda that you get refills on at Kira Sodas and Seahawkers. Captain Marvel, they're leading into Endgame. It's not a lot of character development there, but you get the grips of where Carol came from. But there's a lot of sampling. There's points where you're looking at Independence Day with Will Smith. I don't want to spoiler alert, but I'm not going to give you the end. There's certainly some sampling from Superman and Thor. If you're watching the movie, you'll see, or you could say Hulk Hogan too, but yeah, you could see some sampling from Thor. It was enjoyable. The MCU, and they did a really good job for Stan Lee in the opening. Kudos to the gang at Marvel. There's changes coming to the MCU. Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth. Of the three, I think Hemsworth is coming back. I think they'll renew his contract. Robert Downey Jr. gets like $50 million a movie, so I don't know if he's coming back. And Chris Evans would like to do something else. Those something else actors, I would like to go on to something else, like Sheldon with the Big Bang Theory. I don't know if Sheldon, Jim Parsons, will ever see the celebrity he is now, anything else he does than the Big Bang Theory. And it was amazing when you think about it, well, they're going to cancel Big Bang because of one character. I think the creators of Big Bang Theory looked at Roseanne and the eventual Connors. What happens when you take out the main character? When you took the character Roseanne out of Roseanne and you rebranded it to Connors, didn't work. And I think Prady, who is the showrunner there, the producer, looked at that and said, that's going to happen to Big Bang. So there will be no spin-off there. But it always amazes me when people say, well, I want to move on to something else. You will never, with the exception of especially actors in television shows, with the exception of maybe Clooney and Will Smith, not many of them went on to bigger and better things. If I was in a successful TV show, you would have to take me kicking and screaming out of that studio. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. We'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Seahawkers Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org. We're back. Pat O'Melia, Tom Rivers Show, talking little MCU. So yeah, there's a lot of changes coming with the Marvel Cinematic Universe there. They have the rights to X-Men. They have the rights to the Fantastic Four. They may not want to pay Evans and certainly Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. Remember Morton Downey Jr. at the talk show? It was like prior to Springer and all. I don't think they want to pay them. They got so many different ways they can go. The carousel, I mentioned this last week. I had it in the opening, but I got a little too marvelous there. Last week I was to talk one of the worst land deals of all time, unless you're Mayor Boz, who just wanted attractions to bring Seaside back, to get the 4 or 5 million tourists a year. I was corrected. They are going to move somewhere this season the carousel to its eventual location. They're going to get a big steel shed. They're going to store and reassemble and refurbish the carousel in place in its new location and build the museum around it. So they're not going to store it somewhere else and drag it back here. It's going to be moved to its location, reassembled and restored, and when they get the money, they're going to build the museum around it. Today we're going to talk about the mayor's race. We're going to talk about weed, marijuana, and we're going to talk about ID, personal ID. Mayor Kelleher is being reported now, and it's being confirmed, is not going to seek re-election in Toms River. You know, Tom, been a mayor a long time. I think history is going to remember Tom Kelleher well. He'll be painted well. But the town is changing. There's a lot of issues facing Toms River. And it's like I say, Toms River is a small Jersey city. And a lot of the same issues are facing Jersey City. But Jersey City has vast resources up there. For that matter, the courts just approved Jersey City's employment tax, payroll tax, 1%. Now, it's going to be appealed, and probably wind up in the Supreme Court. But that's how they're going to pay for schools there. There's cuts coming to the school budget in Jersey City, and as is with Toms River. Taxes are going up. It's gone up like a couple of 3% in Toms River. You have the overdevelopment. People want the overdevelopment. And I think Tom Kelleher, the problems, with numerous problems. I just don't think Tom wanted to go through it anymore. But the shocker in this, see, I thought Mo Hill was the eventual replacement for Tom Kelleher. Mo Hill, I think, would have been the front runner. As it stands now there is going to be a meeting. As I'm taping, this Thursday, there's another meeting amongst the Tom River Republican Club over this election. There are a lot of the Republicans here who aren't. We all like Joe Coronado, the old Ocean County prosecutor. He's got the nod right now from the GOP here in Toms River. Great guy, former Ocean County prosecutor. I don't know if he's the strong enough candidate for Toms River right now. Mo Hill, I believe, would have been. Now, right now, as it stands, none of the council at large are going to run for re-election. Tom Kelleher is not running for re-election, so it's going to be Coronado and 3, whoever. Right now, as I'm talking to the Republicans, there's still more to come. Now, I think Joe's a great guy. Is he the successor to Tom Kelleher? Well, we're going to have to see as the campaign breaks down. But, you really are going to have an interesting election this time around. It's almost like there's going back to Marvel, a clean slate protocol that occurred here. Let's get rid of all the old candidates, Mo Hill, Kubel, and George Whitman, the council president. None of that, as it stands right now, none of those guys are going to run for re-election. So the 3 council at large, not running for re-election along with Mayor Kelleher. So somebody in their wisdom, and we don't know where George Gilmore is in this. He's kind of preoccupied right now. So who's really calling shots? You're going to run with an untested candidate in Coronado and 3 whoever. And that's got a lot of people concerned because, in my opinion, if there was ever going to be a shot of the Democrats taking over Toms River, it's this election cycle. And there's going to be attention from the Democratic community. The Democrats are on a roll in New Jersey. You got Murphy as the governor. They're controlling the Senate and the Assembly. Everything's rolling their way right now. I don't know if you can go with a really untested ticket, because I'm pretty sure there is going to be some stringent competition from the Democratic side. And, the Dems won the last election with the council. They swept the council, as I recall. The Democrats who are sitting on the Toms River Council, now they're going to be leaned on to get more votes out. Well, there is blood in the water. And the Democratic organizations in New Jersey see it. And how Toms River goes, Ocean County itself may go. Now, this is a very important cycle. And there's going to be some real money spent in this cycle. You're going to have some real, the Democrats, and I'm positive they will, you're going to have some real campaign pros involved, some guys who know how to campaign, know how to put a ticket together, know what the issues are, and have the ability to fundraise. And you get the statewide Dems involved, they're going to get some serious fundraising going on. So this is going to be interesting. And the Republicans I spoke to today in preparation for today's show are extremely concerned about that. And there will be another meeting at this, as I'm taping this show, this Thursday, you're watching the show on Saturday and Monday, they'll have already had that meeting. Decisions will be made. There's certain to be some fireworks at the Thursday meeting because a lot of these people are very surprised on how the Kelleher's out, all three at-larges. You will have no continuity in this campaign with the last campaign, which was victorious for them. So that is a huge concern. And like I said, the Dems are on a roll here. You start getting guys like Sweeney, and I say to Sweeney, he's on a roll. You never know about NJ 101.5, but Sweeney is on a roll. He is every guy, every man candidate. I don't know what's going to happen with Murphy. I know there's a lot of people who are suggesting that if there is a Democratic president after Trump, if Trump loses re-election, that Murphy probably will become the head of the Treasury or something like that, leaving the door wide open for a Steve Sweeney or a Steve Fulop. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Toms River Show. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend. Pan & Pinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panandpintoproperties.com. Pan & Pinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
We're back. You're watching the Toms River Show. Pat O'Melia here. You a concerned Toms River resident. Like I was saying with the Dems, they're on a roll. If you get Sweeney involved, Ben Coppell from Monmouth County, the state senator there, Raymond Lesniak, you get some of the heavy hitters. And I'm going to tell you with Raymond Lesniak, if he gets involved, where there is victory, there is Raymond Lesniak. Ray is one of those guys who's in the back of the room. He's orchestrating everything, but he's not the front guy. But he's the guy that organizes it. It is going to be a very contentious campaign here in Toms River, and we will host live debates in the studio here. It'll be broadcast live on Toms River on cable, Comcast Cable, channel 190. And we'll be on your Facebook and your YouTube and our live streaming service. First live, that's how it goes. First live stream, because we pay a lot of money for that. Comcast, Facebook, YouTube, or YouTube, Facebook. Sometimes you can't simultaneously broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook is a bit of a problem. Weed, man. You want to get some weed. Well, as we speak, the committees are in Trenton, Assembly committees and the Senate, going over the weed bill. And they want to get that up for a vote, I believe, this week, to legalize marijuana in the state of New Jersey. Governor Murphy campaigned on that. He was going to legalize marijuana sales, and so I think we're kind of pushing it without a lot of study. I think more study needs to be done, especially since you have the opportunity to study what happened in Colorado and other states that legalized it. You know, I know Governor Cuomo in New York, he's pushing it. I don't know who's going to get there first. I don't know if there's a competition, or do we want to be first or second, or does it make a difference? Because when it comes to the finances of this, that's where things get interesting. Now, the committees, they're discussing this now, and it'll probably come out to a vote. Probably by the time I'm on next week, we might have the vote. What is interesting is how it's going to be taxed. It is proposed to be $42, a flat rate tax on an ounce of pot, which I understand an ounce of pot's like $200 in the street right now. Plus, there'll be a 3% municipal tax on any of the municipalities that are allowing the sale of marijuana. Now, a lot of the towns are banning it. The actual public looks like they're in favor of it. You know, I would really wait until you see everything, how it comes down out of Trenton, before I start thinking about banning it. Because a lot of these municipalities are banning, oh, we don't want to sell pot, we don't want to do this, we want to do that, but yet they got the handout to the state. Yeah, you got to do a little horse trading here. I would sit tight until we see what the final result is, the devil's in the details, before we start, going against the governor here. There is a problem with the amount of taxation on it. That's going to be a problem for legal pot sales. See, the problem is, unlike sports betting, and listen, you want to get a bet on a football game, you can get a bet. There's still bookies running around. It's not as prevalent as it used to be when guys were running the numbers and football bets, but you could still place a bet on a football game. Almost every bar has that guy. Unlike sports betting, there is a vast distribution network of marijuana. It's not all tied together, but there is a vast distribution network. You want to get weed in New Jersey, it is probably the easiest thing to find. Yeah, it is easier than finding Chinese food in New Jersey. You want to get weed, you will find weed in a minute. Most cases, have it delivered to you, untaxed. Now, if you're going to put $42 on the price of an ounce, that's a lot, because, the guy selling it right now, he's now charging $42. You will actually drive the black market, which is the only market there is right now for marijuana in New Jersey. You got some medical marijuana dispensaries, but the black market, if you want to call it that, is flourishing. And there's always going to be one, because that will be untaxed. And unlike other things that are taxed, like cigarettes, there's a tax stamp on the pack. If you're running around without the cellophane on your cigarette, it's an indication. I'm sure the packaging with legal marijuana will have a tax stamp of some sort on there. But once you roll your ounce of pot into joints, how the hell do you know what's legal and what's legal and what isn't legal pot? It'll be a different color? No, it's going to be the same. You made it a different color. The bad guys will make it a different color. So that's not an issue. Once you got your pot, whether it's legal or illegal, and you roll it into joints, one pot looks like the other pot. So I don't know how you can determine what's illegal and isn't. If you're caught with, some joints in your car, those legal? Yeah, they're legal. How are you going to tell they're not legal? So there's so many problems with the heavy taxation on this. And the other problem I have is, we didn't do it with sports betting, and it took in like $2 billion in sports betting. That guy, Ray Lesniak, I spoke of, he is the father of that. He fought for like 15 years to get that legal in New Jersey. Law enforcement has huge problems with this. I'll just jump myself there a second. None of this money is directed at property tax relief. The sports betting or the legal weed should be directed. You direct it, you'll even get more people on board. Medical organizations have come out against legalizing marijuana in New Jersey. Actually, some have suggested that you should be at least 25 years old to buy legal marijuana. Are you effing kidding me with that? Come on. If you're 18, you're legal, you should be able to buy, even with cigarettes. I know it's 21 everywhere, and you drink, you're 21. If you're an adult at 18, you're an adult at 18. You're not a semi-adult. You're either an adult or you're not. And then we got the expungement. I think the Hudson Media Group is doing a taping tomorrow with a couple of senators, and they're talking about the expungement. I don't know how far we go back with the expungement. You know, and do we expunge everybody who had possession or dealing? Did we, you know, with everything we changed the law. Did we go back and change anything? You know, like bookies, they got busted for gambling, sports booking and all. Did we expunge their records? No. And when the speed limit went from 55 to 65, did we expunge those tickets that people got at 55? No. So there's a lot still to be discussed on what to do with legal pot. And I think we're kind of rushing it. But let's see what Trend does and how this all shakes out. The devil's in the detail. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to newportnj.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
We're back. Pat O'Melia here, Tom's River Show. Don't forget, you want to get in touch with me, go to the website, HMGTV. You see it on the bottom of your screen. You can send me an email there. You can tweet me. You can do all that stuff. Contact me. Like me on Facebook. Like us on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. We should really push that more than we do. Readily available information, your personal information. I know the state of New Jersey is looking at the particular websites like Facebook and Google, what they do with your personal information that they gather up. We should also look into Verizon. Because you ever wonder why you get those robocalls? You just got a new number and you got robocalls already? That's because, in my opinion, Verizon is selling a list of phone numbers to these robo companies. Now, the kid's house there, it's got a new landline. I think there's 4 of us who know the number. Already getting robocalls on it. Somebody's selling a number, and right now, in this case, is Verizon. My cell phone is inundated with these things. But you can, with Verizon, get a service with like $6, $8 a month that'll prevent that. So they're kind of like, in my opinion, they're the problem, and plus they're the cure. This past week, I'm going to the North Bergen studio. I stop at the dumpster to throw some junk out of the back of the trunk of my car, and I'm looking up the street where my van is parked, the super van. I don't see the van. And I'm saying, well, did somebody steal my 30-some-odd-year-old van? Now, I have a lot of cars, but every car has a purpose. You know, like the kids have their own apartments now. We move things around. They go to a flea market. They move things from one apartment to another. You got the van. It's a real van. It's a full-size van, 2 seats, and a lot of space in the back. But she's a 1989 van. She's 30 years old now. I'm looking up there, and I'm emptying the trunk of this garbage into the dumpster at the studio. I'm saying, what happened here? Did I forget to re-register the van? I might have done that. So I dump all that. I go up to the spot where the van is. There's no broken glass. So I go in Maine Towing in North Bergen. This happened in North Bergen. Their pound is right there. So I check their pound yard. I don't see the van. It's hard to miss the van. I go up to the studio, I get out the folder for the fleet, and I re-registered the van in October, so the registration is okay. So, it wasn't towed away for an unregistered motor vehicle. I called the North Bergen Police Department, give them the license plate number, said either my van was towed or it was stolen, and I'll go over to North Bergen, because you got the North Bergen Parking Authority. I can call Bob Besselis, he's the director there, and the officer tells me it was towed. I said, for what? And they said, abandonment. I said, she wasn't abandoned. It's right in front of my studio. I'll drive one car to the studio and I'll use the van, do some errands, or pick things up for the studio or my kid, whatever the case is, what I use the van for. Valid registration. There are no outstanding tickets on the van. The van has a township parking pass hanging from the mirror in the windshield. So everything's legitimate on it. Now, I do know the chief of police there, Robert Dow. So I sent a text to Bob, and of course I know the mayor, Nicholas Sacco. I said, you guys towed my van. You want to give me a reason why? And chief says, let me investigate. Chief investigates it and goes, we're doing a sweep of vehicles parked in the area without permits, basically pertaining to commercial entities. There are some repair shops in the back on Dell Avenue that park cars out in the street for days and days on end, waiting to bring them into the shop to repair. There are commercial businesses that don't have enough parking for their equipment, so they park them out on the municipal street. And people want to park. They're paying for a parking permit like I do. You want to park your car. You can't because of these vehicles that are there for commercial purposes, 24 hours a day. So the town's cracking down on that. Robert Besselis, the parking authority director, he's cracking down. You got to have a residential pit. You can't have a commercial purpose. You can't have cars outside because you're waiting for a transmission or an engine, that sort of thing. So they took them. They grabbed my van because it had snow on the roof. Now, talking to the chief, I said, listen, now they're going to release the ban. It was a mistake. Well, we understand what happened here. They just got caught up in over enthusiasm. I said, I want to speak to the officer that did this. So they get me to the officer I speak, and the guy explains, listen, we were just sweeping them all. We seen the snow, and we took it. So North Bergen did the right thing by me. I am now being inundated with letters from law services, attorneys, who want to represent me in the abandonment. Now, I don't know how much this ticket is, because I actually called the chief after I got these over the weekend to find out, how much are these things. And when I get the summons, I don't even have the summons. There's a summons because I got all this paperwork. I got to plead not guilty, and they'll take care of it in the court. The thing is, this is all of your personal info is readily available. Here's my address, you got my license, my plate numbers, you got my home address. Everything you need for identity theft is readily available because my van was towed. Or if you got into an accident, you'll get a bunch of these letters. They're looking to represent you. We need to do something about this. This is not the 1970s. Identity theft is a real huge problem here in the state of New York, everywhere. And we make it so easy to just go to a police station and get your ID, or go to City Hall and get all your ID. And you can do it just at a terminal. Now listen, they didn't go to the police station. There's not some runner in there waiting to see what tickets came in. This is all done online. The town inputs the summons, and these guys get it. And they got all your info. We need to change that, because we keep talking about all these changes in today's technology. Well, we're acting like it's the 70s when it comes to this. They actually have all your information legally obtained through the police department. We need to shelter that. The same thing with City Hall. You shouldn't be able to just get on a computer and get all your data. You're shredding things and all this, so you don't throw it in the garbage. Your van gets towed, or you get a speeding ticket or something of that nature. Boom, 1 million legal letters, because they have all your personal information now. And there's something wrong with that. So when I'm talking to some senators tomorrow, I'm going to bring this up. At a show, you be good, you be safe. I'm Pat O'Meara. You've been watching the Tom's River Show. Good night.